director, or you were, now it seems like everybody knows everything, they're following every move you guys make. But at the time, if you were known for anything, it certainly was not yet drama, right? What was your experience doing drama up to that point?
Just crying on my own, probably. Depression. So not much,
Well,
but yeah.
So, I mean, it was music, rap, comedy.
Yeah.
But, so why do you think, and maybe she's told you, what did Lulu see in you that, according to some stuff I read, you didn't even see in yourself at that point? You weren't sure that this was the right fit.
No, I really didn't. I was like, I love it so much, and I listen to the podcast, and I really just was moved by the material, and I knew that it was in another language that I wasn't very familiar with, and I knew that it was also a drama, and I would be a lead, and I had never done those things before, so there was a lot, and a degree of like, can I do this? Like what? Like Lulu. Also, I think was in the same boat, sorry, as me. It wasn't until after the self-tape, that she thought that, okay, well, it's not even that good, but it's workable. Yeah.
Well, maybe we should just, familiarize people who may not have read or heard about Lulu. I mean, you guys can have some overlapping experiences, and I guess I wonder if you just talk about how your own relationship with each other evolved through this.
Yeah, meeting Lulu for the first time was amazing because I, at that point, had not worked with an Asian American filmmaker, an Asian American female filmmaker, who was writing the story and directing it, and also with such a clear vision, and you could see that almost in her podcast, which was curated in a way that was so real. And yeah.
If I can just interrupt, I just want to say, when we're talking about the podcast, she first told this story on NPR.
This American Life, yeah.
And it kind of blew up, and that's what led to the opportunity to eventually get financed.
And so much so that even like the uncle's wedding speech is like almost like word for word, so very intense stuff, and like where the wedding banquet was is like where the actual wedding took place, and yeah, so it was very close to home. It was in Chongqing, and I think that our experiences were related in that we were both kind of these Asian American girls that do feel stuck between the two worlds, and that do constantly have to negotiate that identity, whatever that is. And I think that that's something that a lot of us have in common.
So particularly in music, there's a little bit of a swagger. There's all this stuff that would not have worked for this character. So you were physically doing some very different stuff too.
Yeah. There was a transformation. I think Lulu really helped because I think, and even in my personal life, like I've always used comedy as kind of like a defense mechanism, to keep things light, to not really go there. And what that forbids you from doing is like being in the moment, being vulnerable, being present. And I think Lulu, one of the most important things she told me was just to kind of like stop and like take register of like what's going on around you. And then coupled with the fact that being in China with this material had kind of prepared me for something that I never wanted to prepare myself for, which was losing my own grandma. It was like very, very deep in that way. So there was a bit of a personal journey going on too.
So let's, you said you shot it in China, but what we maybe should clarify is that you shot it in the community with the actual Nai, who would be around.
She would come around and give us snacks.
But the secret, so all these people she knows her, you guys are making a movie, but she, to this day, doesn't know what.
I don't think she's seen it. I don't know, like she would come on a set and Lulu would come up to us and say, listen, Grandma's here, can y'all whisper the scene? And we were like, and so then it was almost farcical because then it became kind of our burden too, like us as the actors we wanted to protect. So, but yeah, it was very close to home, as they would say, yeah.
So you were essentially playing Lulu. Was there anything that she, aside from, like you're saying, pause and think about things a little more or whatever, was she able to give you any other, just maybe not even advice, but conversation that was valuable?
Yeah, I think I think when forming Billy, one thing that she did, which was awesome, was that she wasn't especially precious about certain things. Like she wasn't like, well, this is what I do when I sneeze, or it wasn't that kind of situation. And in that way, building Billy was kind of a shared experience. And what she turned out to be at the end of the day is this kind of very neutral, like vessel for the Asian American experience, which is someone that has with them their own beliefs, but then has to travel through these worlds, and it's like, and having it also coupled with grief, and then grief with an Asian family is always just like in a certain way. So yeah, it just she becomes kind of like all of us, Yeah.
So for you, being in China, where you obviously have deep roots, but I don't know. I think I read that when you were 18, maybe you spent a year there, but this is probably the longest stretch of time.
Yeah.
Aside from that, was the experience of being there with a purpose different, more meaningful to you? What was that aspect of it?
Yeah, I mean, that was great, to be in China with be anywhere with a purpose. When I first went to China, I was like a food writer, but like a food writer for like I once gave a restaurant like 3 stars, and they were like, no, you gotta give it 5 stars because we have a deal. And I'm like, oh, that's what I'm working for. Okay. So I wasn't especially lit when I was in China the last time. But yeah, returning, like, especially like doing something like a project like this. But then also just kind of having a stronger sense of self. So much has changed since I was last there. And I think that whenever we go back to, we as in, any Dash American goes back to where our family is from, there is a personal journey that occurs. There is a feeling of, I could have been here, I could have been born here, I could have lived here. And then there's also that, my whole life I've been told that I wasn't American enough, and yet I'm here and I just don't feel that either. So it's a constant struggle with that, and I felt that as a person there, and it made me really empathize with Billy, I think, even more.
Was there one scene in particular that you found the most kind of emotionally challenging to pull off, or to maybe not that it was hard, but that in the sense like, how do I learn this, but it was just personally tough, it impacted you?
Yeah, I think saying goodbye to Grandma was hard. It was filmed kind of chronologically, so that scene did come toward the end of the shoot, where me and Teacher Zhao were very close, and I think I really felt the weight of everything for that scene. And it was funny because there was a group of hecklers that came around, like for that scene when we were hugging goodbye, and at first they were like blowing raspberries and like talking and saying stuff, but then as the scene progressed, I noticed that there was just like a silence. And I looked up and they were all crying, the hecklers. So they couldn't even hear what we were saying. They just saw this scene of saying goodbye to someone like that, and they were moved by that. So that was a hard scene. And there was also scenes with my mom, Diana, because she just played such a good mom. Like she was so good at that role. Like incredible, and so I would almost feel it sometimes. So a lot of our arguments with her, it's like, there are arguments that you would almost find yourself having with your own parents, on the side. My aunt was like, they don't really do this, like, come on, they don't do this. And my girl was like, yeah, they do. She hasn't done it, she's like, I know people yeah, they do it. And then my aunt was like, do you want us to do that to you? And she's like, no. So it's like she knows the tradition, she is used to it, she understands the foundations, but she doesn't want it to happen to her. And I think that the one thing that I grappled with, especially before we went into production, was the lie itself. Like, I really thought about it a lot, and I think that in this country, there's a lot of there's especially a lot of legal privacy issues that are tied in that we grow up with to know as our rights, and to know as this is how things are ethically done. But there, it wasn't until that scene in the kitchen with my uncle and my dad, where my uncle is explaining we're taking on the burden for her. We don't want her to feel that anxiety, that stress. We want to feel it for her, and that to a degree resonates with me. I understand that, But yeah, it's a tricky situation for sure.
So when the movie gets done, between then and when it goes to Sundance, your life exploded, right? It was in that period that both, I think, Oceans and Crazy Rich Asians
and Dude. Yeah.
So now, can you put us in your headspace in that moment, just what you're dealing with generally going into Sundance, and then to have this happen as well?
It was a lot. I think for a long time I was just in production for like a little bit. You know, my first movie was right before Dude. Nick Stoller and Seth Rogen found my YouTube video, my badge on the internet, and asked me to audition. And after that, I went into an indie movie with Olivia Milch, and that movie actually didn't come out until April 2018. So I had never experienced like the release of a movie. And you know, obviously Ocean's 8 was the movie after that, and that was crazy. I was just like, what am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing here. And then Crazy Rich Asians was, you know, it was different, but still lots of fun. And yeah, they all kind of came out, and I guess yes, things were changing around me, but I think in my head, there was still an aspect of disbelief, and also an aspect that like I'm not changing. You know, like I'm probably still gonna be the same person and go through it and hate myself all the time and things like that. So, you know, that's not gonna change. You know.